Tune in 12 noon on Sundays for Millennial High on 106.5 FM WPPM People Power Media with Tia Whitfield, the #1 show in Philadelphia that wants to give you the best in artists, entertainment, education, health, fitness, and philanthropy. Millennial High is not just a show. It is here to inspire and provoke others to take action towards their purpose in life. So if you have an uplifting, thought-provoking message, get with us at Millennial High. That is millennialhigh@gmail.com.
Millennial High. Millennial High.
Millennial High.
Tia from Millennial High.
With the one and only Miss Tia Whitfield.
A 106.5 FM. Tune in. Hey, this is your girl, Tia Shasha High, the host of Millennial High, where the trend-setting millennial comes for motivation, inspiration, and deep conversation. On today's show, we have Reet Green, transformational coach and speaker. She is the CEO and founder of the charitable organization Leading a Destiny I Declare. We also have an amazing young actress right here from Philadelphia, Amajae. She will also be on the show today. And it's just, there's so much happening today. There's so much going on. There's so much going down, but I'm so excited that everything is working out perfectly. What I'm going to do is I'm going to play one of my songs to kind of like lift everyone up. I love this song. It's called Dance With Me. And then on the other side, we'll be back with Reet Green. And we are back. If you're just tuning in, you're listening to 106.5 FM. This is your host, Tia Shasha High of Millennial High. I have Reet Green in the studio today. And Reet, your mic is on. You like to be called Reet, right?
Yes. I like being called Reet.
Okay, good. So Reet is really awesome. I'm so happy that we crossed paths. Thanks to Alicia.
Yes.
But Reet is amazing. She is the CEO, founder of the charitable organization. And so how would you say, is it LADIDECLARE? Like, how would you just say that?
So it's called LADIDECLARE.
LADIDECLARE.
Yes.
Got it. I like that because it stands for Leading a Destiny I Declare. So Lady I Declare.
Yes.
I like that. Okay, awesome. Lady I Declare embodies healthier and industrious women to become dominant members of our society by setting the precedents for future feminine ambassadors through evoking, guiding, and encouraging positive outcomes. Every day, Reet pushes to make great strides towards understanding and loving her calling. Her seminars focus on discovering one's inner talents, independence, and diminishing self-doubt and expansion of self-pride and determination. She says her success holds no weight becoming significant. She is determined to be used as a vessel to change lives. Welcome, Reet, to the show.
Thank you.
We are also doing a live taping of Millennial High as well, and that will be available next month, Tuesday, if you want to see the beauty of Reet.
I'm excited. I get a double take.
You do. You get a double take. So you're on live on air right now, and then you'll be able to see the entire interview as long as some really cool artists from Philadelphia that will put in for the breaks. You'll see their music videos as well every Tuesday in the month of April from 1 to 2. Philly Cams air Comcast channel 66 for Verizon 29. Okay, so Reet, I know I read a little bit about you, but I know that there's so much that I left out. And tell me a little something. Tell us who you are.
Well, simple, plain. I am a mother of two. I have two beautiful queens myself. One who is also an entrepreneur, who has started her own line, which is pretty dope. She started her own clothing line. She started when she was around 12. She came to me one day and was like, Mom, I want to do my own thing. And since then, she has spiraled. She's in college. And then I have another queen who is 6 years old. So, between the two, they keep me pretty busy. But outside of that, I'm just a simple, laid-back person. People seem to say that I'm pretty dramatic. So I like to go off of that. I'm a jack of all trades, and I am becoming a master of some. Everything from being a hairstylist for over the last 20 years to a college graduate of with two majors and a minor. So I was pretty much all over the place, just enjoying life. And so since then, one day I can remember driving in the car coming home from work. And I was feeling really heavy, and I hated exactly what I was doing at work, to be totally honest. I was making great money, but I still was not enjoying what I was doing. So my daughter at the time was still pretty young, the 20-year-old. She said to me, Mom, all you have to do is dream. And I never forget that moment driving in the car. And, you want to be strong for your children. So I didn't necessarily want her to see me crying. So I can remember like turning the music up just a little bit because like the voice of just hearing it, it set precedence. And it was just like, I have to continue to push. And so since then, I've built such an amazing team. My creative team, believe it or not, are the ones who do what it is that I do. I'm pretty much just the voice. I'm the charismatic one who can go in front of people and build them up. So I enjoy what it is that I do. And to get paid to do it is a plus. But to be totally honest, I always tell people, if you were to take away all the money, if I was to never do any radio, if I was to never be on television, I would be totally okay, long as I know I was saving lives.
Nice.
So that was the most important thing for me. To know that I was giving back to the community. So since then, LADIDECLARE actually is a social enterprise where we build brands for women, especially. I'm willing to do it for anybody because some of my clientele does consist of men. But with LADIDECLARE, the benefit is with being a social enterprise, I can pretty much do what it is that I want to do. I'm not capped to anything. But we're a charitable organization that gives an opportunity to do other things. So that's where Queen Academy comes in. Queen Academy right now, thanks to my creative team, Siobhan Mason and Alicia Willis, they have been diligently working behind the scenes. And like I said, I'm just a voice that goes in with the talent, but they're the ones who's up late at night with me, and we're up to 3:30, 4 o'clock in the morning, and we're creating exactly what it looks like. And I'm just the one who comes with the vision, but they build the house.
Right.
So, to have the foundation is one thing, but to have engineers and architects is the one who will maintain the structure of a home. Mm-hmm. So with that, Queen Academy is an opportunity for me to go in and speak to young ladies, high school, middle school, as well as college level. And I talk to them about what it means to be beautiful in today's society. Because 98% of women do not find themselves beautiful. They struggle with what it means to be beautiful. And so I have the opportunity just to come in, even just for a second, to touch on them, to feel on them, to let them know that they are beautiful. And that's what I love to do. So I have that opportunity, as well as have an opportunity just to be a transformational speaker. I always tell people that I'm not just your motivational speaker. I'm a transformational speaker, because my goal is to transform lives, not to motivate. Motivate is one thing, but I always tell people the difference between motivating and transformation is just what we do every day. Every day we're supposed to be taking a shower. So you get in the shower, you wash up, you feel great. But if you come back out and you put on them same clothes, then are you really transformed? You're not. But if you take your shower and you get out and you change your clothes, then that's when true transformation starts. That's when you find yourself in a whole nother room of things. So when you're being transformed, that means that you're going to leave some stuff behind. You're going to leave people behind. You're going to leave situations, and then you're able to be transformed. So that's what my goal is.
So how did you start on this path? What happened in your life that you said, what, I want to change the life of others?
I continuously fail. I continuously try, and I continuously fail. I've tried probably every type of business you could think of, from starting daycare to starting to open up a spa, to open up a mobile kids event planning company. Anything you could think of, I did it. I baked cakes. My mom and them was just like, you got to get it together. So that's where I started at.
Now, I know that part of your bio, you said that people were kind of saying, listen, why create something that's already been done? The LADIDECLARE, its mission, the Queen Academy, its mission. Why did you continue to pursue creating those two organizations?
Because everybody told me that I couldn't do it. And it continuously kept being laid in my spirit to do so. I always go by this whole coin testimony that I talk about when I go out to do my speaking engagements. And it pretty much can be applied to any situation in your life. But one of the things that I tell people, when God gives you a gift, you can't run from it. It's one thing to have a thought, but when your passion wakes you up in the middle of the night, your dreams is what keep your dreams. You should have them with your eyes wide open. And for myself, no matter what I did, I continued to be slapped back with what was going on. And I even felt myself envious of others if I saw them really living out their passion. And what I realized is that all the things that I was trying to do was engineered due to the idea of $1. And once I removed $1 and said, you know what, I'm willing to go broke. I'm willing to go homeless. I'm willing to do whatever it is to make the platform work, is when I knew I had evolved. So fear was no longer an option. It was just, I had to do it because it was either that or death. It became that extreme. I did not want to exist if I wasn't able to live out my passion. So my passion eventually can become a paycheck. But right now, if I was to close my eyes, I want people to tap my daughters on the shoulder and say, your mother was amazing. Yeah. That's it. That's my why. It's not for my kids. It's not for my mother. It's not to grandstand. It's not to be on social media. All of that is perks and it's great. I want a great house. I want the fabulous car. I want to live my best life. I love it. But at the end of the day, when I close my eyes, I want to be legendary. I want my kids, my grandchildren, my grandchildren's grandchildren to say, you know what? Your grandmother was amazing. She was the next Rosa Parks, or she was the next Harriet Tubman, so that was my goal. That was my reason.
So Queen Academy, when you go to these schools or you have workshops and you talk to these young women, what are some things that you find that's happening in that generation?
Some of the things that I find out is that when it comes to social media is amazing. And not just social media, but media in general. But everything is so tangible. I love the idea that we can find so much creativity in what we see, but one of the things that we forget about is how we begin to view ourselves. We go through so many identity crises as I did. And so when I go to the schools, I'm pretty much giving my testimony, and my goal is to let them walk away knowing that you are beautiful right at the state that you're at, and then also to be able to compliment the next sister that's standing in front of you, because that's one of the things too. When you don't feel good about yourself, you find yourself treating others unkind as well. So, the goal is to teach them that not only are you beautiful, but the one who's standing next to you are beautiful. And the true saying, beauty is in the eyes of the beholder. So whatever that means, you want to find beauty in that.
I love that, because I know that just amongst, young women and women really in general, there's so much competition. So that you say that, find yourself beautiful, but also the woman next to you. Mm-hmm. That's key. I think that's key. So what are some things that you do within the Queen Academy? I know I was just going on social media a little bit. I know that you just had a vision board workshop.
Yes.
Okay. So I know a lot of people have vision board workshops. What made yours different?
I think the thing for me that made 21 Days a Habit different is because the follow through, and then also to understand the steps of what it means to be, what it means to see your vision board. Especially for the ones who walk through the process of the transformational process with me. A vision board it should be done in 8 different steps. It's not just a piece of paper that you take and you cut out some pictures and it gives you these affirmations. That's great. But how long do you keep it? How quick is it that it becomes a part of your closet wardrobe? or it gets fudged underneath all the other papers, that vision board. My vision board literally is still sitting in my living room, and I pull it out every day. I do meditation, and I meditate on it for 45 minutes. I'm up to an hour actually now, and I meditate and I visually see exactly what it is that I want. And so before I did my vision board, I had to write down what I wanted and why I wanted it. So when I do my vision board seminars, I teach people the importance of seeing not only what your vision is, but why you want it. And then we can execute, because execution is key. And a lot of times people don't understand how to get to that. So what I do is I make people mirror themselves. One of the things that I have people do is I make them write to themselves. They do a 6-month letter. And they date it for 6 months, and I take the letter. I never look at it. It goes in an envelope, and then I mail it to them. So either two things are going to happen. You're either going to applaud yourself in 6 months, or you're going to want to slap yourself in the head in 6 months. Either way, you're going to be challenged with what you wrote down for your 6 months goal. And I make them tangible. Don't make them too big. You got to take a brick in order to create a wall. You don't just go take a bunch of bricks because you're not a bricklayer.
Yeah.
The same way you take one step before you go leap up the steps. You have to take one step at a time. So that's what I try to show everybody that's doing so.
And like you said, it's the follow through. That's really important, right? So do you have do each of your members have like accountability partners? Because I know I had some people in here and they're really big with, you can say that you want to do all these things, but when you feel like no one's holding you accountable, you're like, oh, okay, actually, I know I said I'll do that in 2 months, but wait another month.
I think one of the things is I do try to suggest that they do have accountability partners, but when I first started doing my vision board parties, they were pretty intimate. They were just with my friends and family. So that was a little easier. But now that they are becoming, I guess, more so commercialized, it's not always as easy, but I do try to encourage it. But what I do is for those who sign up for my coaching sessions, I become their accountability partner, and then I connect them with other people to keep them accountable. And to tell you the truth, a lot of people, they think that, oh, she's so sweet and fun. And I love the fact that my mother tells people, oh, my daughter's not nice. She's friendly, because I do keep you accountable. I'm on you. I'm one of them. I tell people all the time, my schedules are very unorthodox. I'm either going to bed at 3:30 or I'm waking up at 3:30. Either way, you can find me up. So I'm contacting you, I'm texting you, I'm phone calling you, I'm video chatting you, whatever it is that we need to do to get this popping. And I've had some people, they try to shy away from me, and I'm like, you can't lie to me, because I know the truth. Like, you can't, don't bull me around. Like, let's keep it funky. You didn't do it, and this is why you didn't do it, and so then they're like, okay, I didn't do it. So I become like the mother for a second, and then we become friends again. So it's pretty cool.
But you see how interesting it is, like, without you being that component of, saying like, listen, you did not do what you said that you were going to do. And I feel like that's why so many people remain stuck, because they have all these like big hopes and dreams and like visions, and they'll do the vision board. But if you don't have that second part, like, wait, you said that you were going to get this done. Why isn't it done? Like, this is what you have to do, for you, for your soul, for just like you said. I love that you said, you're like, I didn't even want to exist if I could not do what I loved. So can you talk a little bit about the transition of you leaving that great paying job? Did you leave? You left, right? Or
yeah, I did.
Oh, look at your smile. You have to see her smile.
I did. It was October 14th, 2014. I'll never forget the day. I remember, I could tell the truth now because I'm not there anymore. I remember calling my secretary at the time, and I was making great money. Anytime I had a secretary, like, how cool is that?
Yeah,
I had a secretary and I had a personal assistant and I had a secretary. I called my personal assistant and I said, I won't be in today. And she was such a spiritual woman. She was just like the beast of all beasts. And she was just like, are you coming back? I said,
oh, wow.
I'll call you later. And I got on the road with my 20-year-old. She wasn't 20 at the time. I got on the road with her and we went on to Chicago, because she had Chicago Fashion Week to do. And I called my doctor and I said, I need an appointment to come in and see you because I'm not feeling the best. So we got back from Chicago maybe about 5 days later, and I called out, hey, I won't be in today. Not feeling too well. And I stayed out and I went to my doctor and I just said, I cannot physically go back to work. It was mental, but I physically cannot go back. I was having panic attacks. I hated the process. People don't understand. The most heart attacks happen on Monday mornings because people are going into a job that they hate. They're going into a process, and I knew what was going on. I was making great money, and I loathed my job. I will walk in there every day with my business suit and my business attitude, and I had become drained from it. Not the job itself, because I could do it with my eyes closed. I was great at my job, but I was burnt out. I was tired of not living my dream, and I was fostering somebody else's. I was running a company for someone else, and I was not running my own. So my doctor wrote me out at the time. He said, I'm going to give you some time to think. But he said the worst thing you could do is sit home. And because then what happens? So what happened was, after that point, I went home and I said, you know what? I'm going to open up my own thing. So I then opened up a mini spa. And well, I went through the process of saying, I'm going to open up the spa. I'm going to open up the spa. And I did what it is that I had to do. And it was popping for a second. And then I was flipped upside down. Everything in my life had became to a screeching halt. Financially, I was depleted. I was not making enough in my spa in order to maintain a lifestyle for me and my girls. So I had to make the decision to close the spa, and I had to move back in with my mother. It was the hardest decision in the world. But at that I thought that my fight started on October 14th, but my fight started the day that I had to give back my keys to my place for me and my girls and move in with my mother. When I went into that dark place, and one day I got up and I just said I could not be here. And then at that point is when the meditation started. Because the panic attacks, I truly was having panic attacks. I would get in my car and I hated where I was at. Social media would have never known my place that I was in. And I removed everything that wasn't that I could not do at that point. So I came off of social media for a while. Social media was a catalyst. I didn't want to see anybody else doing great because I knew I wasn't doing great. I didn't want to see it. I had to learn. I had to revamp my whole entire life. I had to fix my credit. Everything had to become a slow process. And I'm still dealing with things. Don't get it twisted, because what you see is one thing, but the difference is my mental state is different. I'm happy. Exactly. I wasn't happy. So when I walked away, I continued to take little steps. And then what I started doing is writing down my victories. So when I go back and read my victories, that's when I knew that I was actually elevated. I didn't know that I was actually moving because I didn't see my victories. Victories are important to see. So I encourage people to write them down. I don't care how small they are, write them down. When you see something that made you smile for that day, write it down. Because a lot of times you will forget, because when something comes dropping on you, you forget that small victory that came into your life. So you don't have a chance to relive it. So when I started looking at what 2015 looked like opposed to 2016 looked like opposed to 2015, I wasn't doing too bad. And once I saw what 2016 looked like in comparison to 17, I was like, oh, I'm progressing. And then by the time I got to the end of this year, I said, well, girl, you cooking with grease. You better go on. It. So with that, and that's one of the things that I try to tell people, take the puzzle, throw it on the floor. At the end, long as you have all the pieces, eventually you will put together your puzzle. You have to create a puzzle, but it's not for you to know how to do it. All you know is that they will assimilate and it will come together as a puzzle, as a complete piece. And that's what I try to encourage with my 20-year-old. She is actually one of my driving forces. When I see her in these times, I see so much of me in her. And what my fear is that with my 6-year-old, I'm different. But my 20-year-old, I was young. I was 19 and I had become a mother. I was a true statistic. I was doing everything that, statistically what could happen besides me being in college. But I still was a young mother. So she saw a lot in comparison. She saw me emotional. She saw me happy. She saw me sad. She saw me, dating. She saw me all these different things. So I began to feel like when she felt that I felt. But what I realized is that she had became part of me because I was manifesting that through her. So no, I had to remove me, and I had to learn how to build her by learning to bend and not break. So when it was things that I necessarily didn't want her to do, I said, you know what? Don't live vicariously through her. Allow her to channel it. Allow her to mess up, because it's part of the process.
Right.
So, and that's one of my biggest things. I look at people. So she's one of the reasons why one of my last legs that I created on LADIDECLARE, which is called Ladies First, that we're still in the process of building. And I'm so thankful to my creative team that we're creating it. But it's an entrepreneurship program, and it can start from all ages because, my daughter was 12 when she had her vision.
Yeah.
It wasn't 21. So I don't want it to be where you have to be an adult to become an entrepreneur. And so that's one of the pieces that we are adding for the end of that's to come for 2020.
So before you leave us, unfortunately, before this segment's over, what's one piece of advice? You gave plenty. What's one piece of advice that you can give someone who wants to take a step out, maybe do what you've done?
One of the pieces that I tell people, because at first I was afraid to be truthful, and being truthful meant that I had to look at myself before anybody else did. And so every day I get up and I tell myself, I don't care what the world says. I care how you feel. So if it's not in alignment with me and what the Creator say, then I don't care. So anything outside of that. So if it's a Sunday night, a Sunday afternoon, you decide that you want to lay in the bed, nobody says that you can't. But if that's your choice, that's your choice. But what I tell people is to truly use your 24 hours to its fullest capacity. The only difference between you and a millionaire is how you use your 24 hours. Make it work. So even though you may not have the money, it will truly come. But make your passion into your paycheck. That's about it.
I love that. Where can we find you on social media?
I'm getting used to the social media thing, but I say to go on Instagram at Reet Green. That's ReetGreen, as well as on Facebook. You can find me as well. And for LADIDECLARE, we are on Instagram as well at LADIDECLARE. We have a business page on Facebook as well as a group. And on the group is pretty much you have an opportunity to be able to spread your business if you have a business that's going on, as well as to find out what's going on in the neighborhood. And that's at LADIDECLARE group. And we have the LADIDECLARE biz as well.
Awesome. You got to come back on.
Yes, I would love it.
What? Because I know, do you have an event coming up?
Oh, yes. She did. Listen, I'm telling you, my ED is on it. She said budget workshop. Yes, budget workshop. We have a budget workshop that is coming. Please go on to LADIDECLARE.org and you can register as a budget workshop. It's an opportunity to meet some amazing gurus that's going to come to you along with myself. I get an opportunity to drop some more gems as I love to do, but you have these amazing gurus that's going to come and teach you about couponing. That's going to also teach you about how to get your children ready fast FAFSA wise, as well as understanding your taxes. If you have a business, to understand how that works, because when it comes to business taxes, that is a whole different beast in itself. As well as we have somebody that's going to come out and tell you about the whole importance of credit. I always told people that was one of the things I speak about credit, because when I had no money, not that I have the money today, but when money means one thing, but credit is amazing. Credit will get you so far. So with that, we have a whole lot that's going on with that. So you have an opportunity to learn about just the whole idea of budgeting on no dollars and 2 cents, because that's one of the things that I love to tell people about how I made it on no dollars and 2 cents. I truly did. I truly learned how to rob Peter to pay Paul. So come on through.
To know how to do
on
that.
March 24th is a Sunday. March 24th is 2 to 5, and it is free. So come through. It's for men and women. So y'all come on through so we can teach you how to rob Peter to pay Paul.
Oh, I'm going. Thank you, Reet. Thank you, Reet Green, for coming to Millennial High. It was so amazing meeting you finally. And we're going to have a little break, a musical break. But up next will be Amajae Hardy Jones coming in and talking a little bit about her career and encouraging others who are interested to see how they can get out there too and, spread their wings as far as acting. And thanks, Amajae. See you later. And we are back. If you're just tuning in, you're listening to 106.5 FM. I'm your host, Tia Shashahai. That was Generate by Eric Pritz. I love that song so much. I think it came out in 2016. But that's such a great song. It's so positive. I love it. And now our Trendsetter segment with Amajae Hardy Jones. Hi.
Hi, how are you?
Good. How are you doing?
I'm all right.
Now, so today it's interesting because we're on the radio and then we're also filming.
Right.
So you know how it is when
Right,
you're
you
filming. Try to look at the camera. Because Marcus is going to go crazy if you don't look at that camera. So, how are you?
I'm good. Life's been great. Nothing to complain about, really.
I just want to thank you for two things. One, for being patient this morning. You are absolutely amazing. She was just like a breath of fresh air. Like, there was a lot of things happening this morning, and she was so calm. I'm like, oh. Like, how can I be that way? Like, her calmness was making me calm. She was like definitely settling. So tell us a little bit about Amajae. I know you're an actress here in Philadelphia. I checked out your social media, which is really cool because it looks like you're doing some like on camera work too.
Yeah.
Are you? Yeah. So it's all yours.
I'm doing a lot with both theater and film. Right now, we actually did a play a couple of months ago. What did we do? Cinderella, the Bride of Christ. I actually did a play at my school called Freedom Writers.
Nice.
Theater has actually been a huge part of who I am. And I believe that my passion for theater really allowed me to grow to be who I am. It allowed me to be confident in how I speak and allowed me to express myself in ways that it's kind of, strange for a teenager, to act, to be so bold and to think of yourself so highly. So, I think with theater, it really built up my confidence of who I am and who I'm hoping to become, really.
That's so interesting that you said that because I know, I don't know if you heard Reet's interview, but Reet Green, she was just on here with LADIDECLARE, and I know she does some things with Queen Academy. If I got that wrong, forgive me. But I know she says she speaks to teenagers. And young women, and she talks to them about like body positivity and how they can love themselves and understand themselves, but also the young lady next to them. So I know you said that theater helped you do that. So did you ever feel at all like insecure about being on stage for the first time? And then how did theater help you overcome those insecurities?
Yeah, there's been many of times in which a role that I had to play was very challenging and I felt really out of place. There were circumstances in which, I was either the youngest in the cast and everyone else was older. I distinctly remember a play that I did. It was kind of a women empowerment type of play. Everybody in the cast was either in their 20s or 30s. I was the only 16-year-old during that time. And the role I had to play was a girl who was struggling with anorexia. And the monologue that I had to say was extremely powerful. And, I've never experienced a situation like that before. But to be able to work with individuals who, build up their craft and who helped me, it just really allowed me to, be able to like accept the fact like, hey, even though my age may be different, they still accept me and everything.
Yeah, because I've had like a lot of actors on the show, and I love it because it's kind of cool. I love the craft. I think it's awesome because it's like you have to fit into a role or you have to become a person for a role that you might not even experience it. So you said this one with the anorexia, you don't know what that, like, you know what I mean? Like you didn't know. So then how do you get into character?
Wow. I mean, it really much depends on what the character is. Actually, another play that I was involved in, it's called Not Without My Hijab. It's actually touring nationally across the United States. We actually did a show in D.C. Yes, we did a show in D.C. And, the role I had to play was Anissa. She was a Muslim girl struggling with her faith and the importance of wearing a hijab and the significance behind it. Now, as a Christian myself, I I wasn't very involved in the Muslim faith, therefore I didn't really know much about it. I knew they wear their hijab. I knew there was significance behind it, but I didn't really know the deeper meaning behind it. But embodying a character like her, it was really eye-opening, honestly. I didn't really know how important it was for a Muslima to be fully garbed and how significant that really is. So I was extremely aware of, the importance behind it. But I mean, it was truly amazing to be a part of that and to still be a part of that. Yeah.
Okay. So what are some of the exciting things that you love, like, about your career now? So forgive me. So you're still in school, right?
Yes.
So how is it like juggling school and your career? I mean, because right now you said that the one play you're in, it's a traveling play, right? So then how do you do both?
How do I do both? That is the question. I mean, it has been hard and challenging. I mean, there were situations in which, I had to talk with my mom and say, like, okay, hey, let's schedule everything out. It's really all about planning and organizing. And what I've witnessed so far with all the things I've been involved in and school, it really has balanced out. Especially because I'm in my senior year, and you have SATs, you have midterms, and you have everything else just juggling together. But it was really hard, but I'm glad that I'm halfway there to my senior year. Everything has really worked out for the good. Yeah. And honestly, I thank God for that, because everything really did work out perfectly. So I'm just, I'm still hanging in there,
Yeah. How does it feel being on stage?
How does it feel?
Yeah.
Oh, it's nerve-wracking backstage at first. Your nerves are there. You're excited, but, you're still a little anxious. But I don't know. It's as soon as I go out there, it all melts away. And it's kind of funny because I normally say, like, oh, my goodness, I was so nervous up there. Could you guys tell? They were like, no, like, I can't tell at all. But it's funny how that can portray, and just how, when you're at that stage in which you feel natural and you feel as though that, what you're doing, you find so much joy in it, and you find so much happiness, and you feel as though that, this joy that I'm feeling, I want to pursue that in life. And this is what I really want to do. I don't want to, be burdened with, something that I don't really want to pursue in life, and something that doesn't give me so much joy and happiness. I mean, yeah, it's a feeling of like enlightenment. Just,
and like
rich.
Freedom, it sounds like. When I hear you talk, that's what I hear, because it's interesting, because now you're so young and you know what you want to do already, and you're doing it. So you're not talking yourself out of it. It seems like you have a very supportive family too, as well, that they're encouraging this in you, instead of saying, oh, no, you're not going to do that, you're going to be a doctor. No, like, so you're forced into a path of that which you don't want. So it's like it's freedom in a way, because now that you found out what you love to do and you're doing it, and you have the support of family and friends, I think that is key.
That is extremely key. It's actually kind of funny, because at a young age, I was always drawn to TV, as any normal kid would be, but it was to the point in which I see home videos of me back in the day where I would like take on the character on stage or whatever film it may be, but like I would act what the character is doing. I would sing the songs that they were doing, and I was only about 4 or 5 during that time. And it's just so amazing to reflect on that time and seeing that, back in the day, that, hey, like, look at me doing what I'm kind of doing now, but on stage. And I don't know, it just, my family being supportive, I honestly couldn't ask for a better family and a better supporting group like my mom and dad. Man, I am extremely grateful for them, that they see my passion even before I could.
Wow.
And they like pushed me so hard. They made me do things I didn't want to do during that time. But now that I look back, it really has helped me to become who I am now. So, yeah.
So what piece of advice would you give to, high school age not just young women, but men too, or boys too. What do you call them? Teenagers. Yes, teenagers.
Young adults, teenagers.
You know what? It's so great because I'm so used to talking to, 25 and older. So now I'm thinking oh yeah, it's teenagers. Yes, you're right. So it's so refreshing to have you on the show. I love it. So what piece of advice would you give to teenagers, who want to pursue acting, or not even maybe just acting, or who want to just pursue, what they love?
Well, one thing I would like to say is that, don't be discouraged. Don't be wary. Don't be in a state of doubt, because, of course, those things are going to come. But make sure you have a really good supportive group, even if that is your friends or that is your family. Have someone that will support you along your way. And also stay encouraged. Be surrounded by people who will support you and who will guide you and will be able to pick you up when you feel down, because it's very rare to find those people and to stay close with those. I also encourage you to, just pursue what you want, because your desire should come first in life. I believe in our day and age, we're forced to, go to a job and, work for someone else, but it is nothing wrong with you being an entrepreneur, you having something that you can organize yourself, and it can ultimately grow to become something that you haven't even imagined before. So I just encourage you to strive to be you in the best way you possibly can. And I strive you to be encouraged and motivated in whatever you may pursue in life. And ultimately, that's it.
Wow. When you were saying that, how I think, I don't know, in visuals, in images, it's interesting. So when you were saying that, I was thinking about everyone that I've had on my show thus far. And it's interesting because it's they started out working at a place they didn't want to work. And then understanding, wait, I'm not happy here. Right. And then leaving, transitioning, and then now doing what they love. And you're starting out doing what you love. It's it's not even, it's so, and I think that's a lot to do with the younger generation that's happening. You understand already that you don't have to work for someone else. Right. It's so interesting just to see that shift and dynamic and change of mindset. Right. So you're starting so far ahead of what the generations that came before you ever have. You already have that entrepreneurial mindset. You can't even think of any other way to be. Right. I think that's so cool. I think that's so cool. What is next for you?
What is next for me?
What's next for you?
I mean, I am a part of 2 films that are going to be out. I'm not exactly sure when, but I am a part of David Thompson's films. I'm a part of one of his films at this moment. And I'm also a part of Naj Productions doing a film called Grace and Mercy. We actually started practicing a couple weeks ago for both. So I'm just really excited to be a part of both of those films. Film is kind of something I'm easing into right now, and I'm trying to see how it's different from theater, and I'm learning from both. So I'm just excited to where it takes me, honestly.
So I know. So film, theater. So film is Oscars, and theater is Tony Awards, yes, right? Right. The Tonys. I'm only saying this not so to feed you anything, anyway. But so I would say in 10 years, where do you see yourself?
Oh, that's a tough question. I honestly do not know, because 4 years ago, I didn't know I would be here at a radio station speaking. Honestly, it's kind of crazy to reflect on my 13, 14-year-old self and looking at me now, because I always say, Mom, I want to be an actress. Where do I start? Where do I do? What do I research? But honestly, I'm just reflecting right now on where I was when I was 13, 14. I'm and it was during a time which I was timid, very shy. I didn't really know what I was doing, especially in the field of entertainment. Mm-hmm. So just reflecting to where I am now, it really, I don't know where it's going to take me in the next 10 years. I could go into theater. I could go into film. I will be happy in both. Both are very fulfilling to me. So honestly, can't answer that question, but I know it's something great, and I know it's something God will, plan for me, because his plans are for good and for you to prosper. So
I love it. Thank you so much. So where can we find you on social media?
Oh, you can find me on Instagram at Amajae Hardy Jones, no spaces, at AMAJAE HARDYJONES.
Awesome. I know you're doing some, interview segments. Is that where or maybe not that, but like covering events? Is that what you're doing?
I mean,
or that was just like you saying, hey, I'm at this event.
Yeah, that's what I normally do on my Instagram pages now. Whenever there's an opportunity in which I see a show or a film or something that I'm a part of, I normally say a little snippet about it and how I'm grateful to be a part of it overall, really. But yeah, you can say a cover for interviews and shows and stuff. That makes it sound really great. Professional. Yeah. But yeah, that's what I ultimately do. Yes.
Okay. Awesome. I love it. Thank you so much for being on the show.
Oh, no problem.
Thank you for being patient this morning.
It's okay.
You are a light breath of fresh air. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Thank you, Reet Green. She's still hanging out in the studio. We're going to take some photos and do some, we're going to do, Marcus, some outros for the TV show. So hang around. But thank you for listening. As always, stay lit, love inspired, and true. Until next time, bye.